You simply want to be alone.
Roles change without us noticing. And in your new role, we help you help. Visit aarp.org/caregiving to get practical health and wellness tips to provide even better care for your loved one. Remember, visit aarp.org/caregiving. AARP. We help you help. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
We now return to Nassau Community College Forum.
Welcome back to the Nassau Community College Forum on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. Once again, my name is Kevin Boston Hill, and our guest today is Professor Molly Ludmar from Student Personnel Services. Now, we left off out of the break, going into break, talking about when students should come in and get the support that they need and not waiting too long. So how can they get that support? Where can they reach out to? What is the particular number, a website, web address they can go to? I know we mentioned earlier about social media things. So how can they get in contact with you all?
Okay. So if students go on the Nassau Community College website, which has recently been redone and is lovely, we can be found really in three different areas. Okay. We are an academic department. So if you click on academics, we're listed under academic departments as Student Personnel Services. We're also listed under campus services, and it's a link called counseling services, and we're also listed under student life for student activities. So on the web, we have a pretty strong presence on the web that way. We also have our main office number is 572-7506, and our main office is located in Nassau Hall, room 11. Because we're such a unique department, we're really spread out throughout campus. So we have offices in 3 or 4 different buildings around campus. But if you call the main office, we can put you in the right direction. Great.
And like I said, you cover those 5 major areas. So I'm sure that's the reason why they're spread all over the place. We can do a lot of different things. Okay. And you mentioned that you'd be found under the academic courses that are there, the academic departments. So what type of courses do you are taught by Student Personnel Services?
So we teach a couple different courses through our department. We teach a couple courses on career exploration.
Okay.
We have 3 different courses on career exploration. One is really an introductory course. It's called Career Orientation. It's a 1-credit course, just really starting to take an initial look at the career exploration process. We also offer another course called Career Development and Exploration, which goes a little bit further into how to explore careers. What do careers mean? You know, I think one of the things that students sometimes we're not always aware of all the different career options that are out there. So it teaches students how to explore. And then we also have a course called Career Management, which is a more advanced course, which is really putting together a resume, preparing for interviews, getting involved in professional organizations, and things like that. We also offer an academic success course, which is taught each semester. This is, again, a 1-credit course. This course is designed for students who have had some academic difficulty in the past. So it might be a student who's on academic warning, academic probation, or a student who's recently been readmitted to the college. So that's the academic success course. We offer a course called Understanding Substance Use, Abuse, and Addiction, which looks at substance abuse.
Right.
And then we also offer a course called Perspectives on People with Disabilities. So we offer quite a few different courses, and at this point we're looking at even developing some more.
Okay. And when I hear the names of those courses and the jobs that they do and what they provide, have you thought about, or are they available to high school students maybe who are thinking, well, is it only for students, or have you thought about expanding it to try to include a section or a version of that for high school students as well?
So the career orientation class right now, our 1-credit career class, we are actually teaching it to a handful of high school students at this time. We have some students from the BOCES program who are on NASA's campus taking courses, and some of them are enrolled in that class, and another group of them took the class last semester. So we're happy to teach it to whoever wants to come take the class. We think that they're really worthwhile topics. They really are a great asset to a student's academic portfolio. So we would be happy to teach them in the high schools here, wherever the case may be.
And that's why I mention it, because I know there are a lot of high school students now who are thinking about just going into entrepreneurship. And I think that might be, or they just don't know what they want to do with themselves. So it'll be a good way for them to have the exploration and get some sense of direction for themselves going along the way.
Absolutely. Career exploration is really, it used to be something that you did kind of at the end of your academic, studies. And now it's something that I see them starting it even in the, the elementary schools. Not that you need to know what you're going to be, but just what does it mean to understand careers, and how do you explore them, and how do you learn more about them?
No, you're absolutely right, because I think it's also gives them a sense of, well, I don't know what I want to major in college. So now if I'm thinking about going and getting this profession, then that'll steer me into the direction of this particular major. So it gives them some sense of direction, I guess, along the way.
Absolutely.
So you don't have those students who are changing their majors every semester.
Right. We would prefer they not. They certainly can. I did myself, so I understand that. But it's easier when they don't sometimes.
I'm sure. Let's talk a little bit about the work that your department does with students with disabilities, and how do you support them along the way, along their journey here? So
our Center for Students with Disabilities is really fantastic. I think we have a really great reputation in the community for the work that we do. In addition to our counselors over there who work with students, they work with advising students. They provide classroom and testing accommodations to the students. So anything that they qualify for. We have a pretty extensive staff of American Sign Language interpreters for students who are deaf or hard of hearing. We have a lot of adaptive software. I think we're very cutting edge in terms of the programs and the devices that we provide for students. So in addition to that, we also have a testing center, which is part of the Center for Students with Disabilities, where students would be able to go to take their tests if they need extended time, they need a quiet space, they need a scribe, they might need a reader. So that's another aspect of the Center for Students with Disabilities. Last year, we administered over 3,000 tests.
Wow.
In that testing center. So, we always are encouraging the academic departments to try to provide those services as best they can. It's not always possible.
Right.
So if you think about it, if a lot of the departments are already doing that part, and we're still doing 3,000, it's a lot of tests.
That's a lot of tests. Yeah, absolutely.
And then the other part of our Center for Students with Disabilities, which it's a completely separate service, but we have a TRIO program on campus, which is a student support service through the federal government. And so that program also works really closely with students who have students with disabilities, and provides additional services to them as well.
Excellent. Thank you. So you are listening to Nassau Community College Forum on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Kevin Boston Hill, and our guest today is Professor Molly Ludmar from Student Personnel Services. So let's talk a little bit about the psychological counseling, and when do you reach out to the students? Do they come to you? How do you find out about students who are probably in need of those services?
So a variety of different ways. Most of the students will contact our office of psychological counseling to request an appointment.
Okay.
They may have been referred there by a teacher. They may have been referred by a friend. They may have found our listing on the website and call and make an appointment. And that's great. Sometimes students are referred to us by faculty. So that can happen as well. Obviously, if it's just a matter of, a faculty thinking, well, I think this student could benefit from psychological counseling, we can't force them to come in and see us. Sometimes a student will present in crisis, meaning that it's a much more severe situation, and our psychological counselors at that point will do an immediate evaluation and determine what needs to be done to help the student. So it's a variety, of different ways that they come in.
Okay. And I guess also what are the different ways of reaching out other than using the typical the mailings and the social media and things? How do you get the word out that this is what we're here for, this is what we're doing on campus, and whenever you can, do you set up a table at the beginning of the year, or?
So tomorrow's the Student Activities Fair.
Okay.
From 11:30 to 12:45, weather pending outside in front of the CCB. Sorry. I'm realizing this is recorded. So anyway, so at the Student Activities Fair, we would have a table for our department where students would be able to stop by, pick up some information, ask questions. So that's one way that we try to reach out to students. We try to, there might be different events on campus where we might be present. Any opportunity to talk about our services, to promote our services, we certainly take advantage of that opportunity. But I think a lot of it really becomes word of mouth.
Right.
We will do a program one year and then students look for it the next year. So for instance, we do 2 transfer fairs each year. So we would do a transfer fair in the fall and a transfer fair in the spring. So students have come to be, aware of the fact that, hey, when is Hunter College going to be here? Because I want to talk to them about transferring into their nursing program, and they start to look for when the programs are. Some things just happen each year. We have, so the Student Activities Fair is one of them. At the beginning of every semester, we do that. We do a spring fling every summer out on the quad with bands and games and parties, things like that. Every year we do a big job fair in the spring. So, there's certain things that I think students just kind of come to know about. Right.
And I guess, and also through your department, how many students come through or actually do work for you? And because I know they come through and utilize your services, but do you actually also employ students, whether it's paid or volunteer, to get some things? We do. We have quite a few students that work in our offices. We employ a lot of federal work study students. Okay. So they're constantly, helping us answer phones, make appointments, greet students when they come in, file, copy, hey, student, I need to hang up these posters for the transfer fair. Can you run around campus and hang up the posters? We also hire students to work in our game lounge. We have a game lounge on campus over in the U building. And so while that's staffed by a professional from our department, we also hire students to work in there as well. Okay. So they assist with, keeping things in working order, making sure the Xbox is working properly, things like that, swiping students in, checking them in, keeping track of, what needs to be ordered and things like that. So our students are really amazing. The ones that we hire, when we hire good ones, we want to try to hang on to them. So, we're surrounded by students all day, which is what we love. Which is what you're here for. That's why we're here. That's why we're here, yep. Right. Well, we really want to thank you for being here today. Again, thanking Professor Molly Ludmar from Student Personnel Services for coming in and being part of our show today. So once again, thank you very much for taking your time today. Well, thank you so much. It's my pleasure to be here, and I really appreciate you having us. No problem. So my name is Kevin Boston Hill, and thank you all for listening to Nassau Community College Forum, right here on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.